taking in water from the Catskills and the northern Appalachian mountain ranges. It creates a natural border between New Jersey and Pennsylvania and parts of New York. It goes all the way down this border, passing Philadelphia, eventually spilling out to the Delaware Bay and out to the Atlantic. I could talk about how vast swaths of it were bought out by the government for a dam that was never built, and I could talk about how all of those purchases eventually got abandoned by the government and the roads were slowly taken back by nature. And I could talk about how this whole area grew on me and became one of my favorite places in the world. But no, what I'm here to talk about is this: a photo with a Jeep parked right in front of a waterfall. This photo sent me on a quest that spanned nearly 10 years, just to find out where this photo was taken. Along this journey, I learned more about my favorite pocket of the world than I expected. I've met some incredible people, and I've been to some incredible places just in this area. But first, a little bit about me. Now, I love the outdoors. Climbing, hiking, swimming, getting so deep out there in the woods that all you can hear is just the wind rustle in the trees. I live in the city. None of these adventures would have been possible if it wasn't for this one thing: a super reliable, go anywhere, do anything, in any season, and in any weather, companion. Guys, meet Ellie. Ellie is a 2004 RAV4, the first car I learned how to drive in. Did it use the same body as the 2000s Corolla at the time? It sure did. Did it have a ton of horsepower to fly through the highways? It definitely didn't. Was it at least super light, where its smaller engine could help keep up in traffic? Yes, it was. It was so light that if you were on the highway and a gentle breeze were to hit you, you would end up in another lane. But even with all these faults, it was truly an incredible companion. It started its time with us as a commuter car for my mom, to and from the city, and a reliable commuter going up and down the state, braving torrential rain and flooding roads, and winters that would bring on freezing conditions with snow that would stick on and turn into ice. As time went on and I got old enough to drive, it came down to me. My first job was that of an essential medical worker. Regardless of what the weather was doing, I had to be available whenever and wherever I was needed. Over the years, Ellie has gotten me to some amazing hikes and some fantastic destinations. But one in particular is what I want to talk about now. This National Park Service recreational area spans over 70,000 acres. There's tons of history in this area. First occupied by the Munsee and Lenni Lenape tribes, and even some Mohican tribes. Later occupied by Swedish and Dutch settlers who were trading with the local tribes and who were mining in the area. They primarily mined copper, but it's also known for having super rich anthracite mines, a super pure, hot and clean burning coal. Out here, there were a ton of ancient roads. These roads would go up and down and in and around the valleys. These roads were built before they had the ability to blast through hills and mountains, so instead, they built in and around the hills. It was driving and exploring here that refined my driving skills, where I was able to build confidence in Ellie and to be able to trust her in any season and in any condition. And let me tell you, we explored, be it on foot or on tire. But there was always something. There was always another layer to it. There were these offshoot roads that you would come across, a lot of them not appearing on any maps, a lot of them unrecorded. While driving through the water gap, occasionally you would come across this road that would just be there. There's no visible houses and there's no property lines that you'd see. A lot of times through the water gap you'd see these signs that says posted no trespassing, and you'd know that there's a residence there. But some of these roads, it seems that they were going somewhere. Even though my curiosity wins the best of me, I wasn't sure if Ellie could handle it. Most of these pull-offs I still did explore, but on foot, and some of them would go on for miles. Despite exploring this area throughout the years, I still feel like I barely scratched the surface of it. Like there's another layer that I just couldn't access. But over the years, I've explored as many of the paved road sections as I could of the water gap. I've seen a lot of these roads close and open with the seasons and as natural disasters would occur. Some roads would even close because the driving conditions would be too rough and they'd have to repair the roads. I recently went over my map of the area, and yes, even though this doesn't show all the pins that I have there, but over the years I've cleaned it up and I've added more things, and a lot of places I've just committed to memory just from the amount of times I've been there. But one thing that still astounds me is that I know of all these places and yet it still feels like there's more. I've really come to love this place over the years. We kind of take the places where we live for granted. What I mean is that we'd rather travel to further off destinations, but completely blowing off a really interesting destination that's closer to us, just because it's just right there. This actually came to a point one year during the autumn when I had a friend take me down to the southern part of Jersey. Down there was the natural preserve that played host to these acidic growing conditions. Conditions where a unique variety of coniferous trees would flourish as they dominate the landscape. A little refresher, the coniferous trees are the pineal and pinecone trees. You can tell you're in the area because all of a sudden all the other trees would just disappear, and all you'd see for miles are endless pine trees surrounding the highway. The rivers and creeks down here are dark, full of tannins from all these pine trees, but despite their eerie appearance, they are intensely mesmerizing as they contrast with the light, sandy terrain. Down here is where the myth of the Jersey Devil came from, where all of these stories were born. Down here, there are legends. Down here is the NPS Pinelands Natural Preserve. Down here are the Pine Barrens. And down here, those in the know, they call it the Pines.